Hey everybody, this is Trevor, and thank you for coming to my channel, Pioneer Spirit. Today's show, CBDC. Just gonna jump right into it. The Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC. People have asked me, well, what is that? What is that, Trevor? So I say, well, what it is. They'll say, well, is that like Bitcoin, digital currency? And I'll say it is like Bitcoin in the sense that, yes, it's the zeros and ones, it's complete digital currency, but Bitcoin is a voluntary currency that you can buy, as where the CBDC will be a government currency. And currently, right now, they are rolling out some like project programs at certain banks. Canada, United States are starting to ask people, how would you feel about this? My thoughts on it are it's a complete con. I can't find any pros to a digital currency, especially one that isn't voluntary. At least Bitcoin. I don't have any Bitcoin. I don't have any dog in the game there, but if anyone ever wanted to buy like a Dogecoin or Bitcoin, you can voluntarily do that. That's completely up to you. It's not something that I've ever done. My investments are, right now I'm holding like a silver coin, a 2-ounce silver coin right now. That's the kind of stuff I like to invest in. Food prepping, gold as well too. I do have gold in here. Look, real estate, just things like that. So, but hey, if you want to go and get like a Bitcoin, go ahead. So, what a central bank digital currency won't be voluntary. It will be the system that you have right now. Like you can go to your bank and take cash out. You have to use, like if you're in Canada, for example, you have to use the Canadian money that's issued by the Canadian government, our central bank. Same thing in the United States, the U.S. dollar. If you're in England, obviously the pound, etc., etc. Whatever nation state you live in, that state issues its own currency that you must use if you want to get paid at whatever job you do. If you're a truck driver, a baker, an electrician, an accountant, whatever have you. If you're in Canada, basically you're getting issued Canadian dollars, etc. Explaining that. But what the central bank digital currency, and because of the title of the show, central bank digital currency and your local economy, how I want to explain, it's just something that I was thinking about because there's so many pieces of the puzzle here for the CBDC, and this was just another piece of the puzzle that I started thinking about is how do you use, because governments want to get, okay, we're going to get into the central bank digital currency for every nation state. And within the next 10 years or so, my take on it is that we're going to be moving away from the nation states currencies into just a one digital currency that would be used around the world. Whether you're in Russia, China, India, Scotland, Germany, Canada, Brazil, wherever you are, they'll just have like the one digital currency. And I can foresee that coming, 2030 into the 2030s. But how does that affect you in your local economy? Okay. And I started, it's May here. It's the end of May. We're going to come into June in the next few days. And what's popular here in Canada and the United States, perhaps in Europe, England, I'm not sure, but we have yard sales, garage sales, flea market, farmer's market. Now, those two last ones, the flea market and farmer's market, over the last few years, they are moving more towards using, the wireless debit machines. But for a good portion of the little shops that you see, the little kiosks that people set up at the farmer's market, flea market, they're still using cash. But when you look at things like, your garage sales, your yard sales, and they start in the spring, into the summer, into the fall, it's all cash, right? Like you go and you want to buy, whatever they got for sale. It's the people are selling, $5 here, $10 here. It's all cash. Well, how does that work with digital currency? It absolutely doesn't. You can't just, because there's nothing physical. You can't physically hold on to digital currency. That's again why I'm into more of a physical. Like, I always feel like if you can't hold it, you don't own it. So that's probably one of the big reasons why I don't have any digital currency. But in a society where government is now switched its cash to a digital currency, you won't have that choice. So how does this? So again, how does this play into your local economy? Well, how are you going to go to your local garage sales? Now, I know it's a minor thing to talk about, but we just went through it's the last weekend of May here, and in the place I live in, they had advertised for the entire town that hey, this is going to be a day if everybody wants to have your garage sale, yard sale, great day to get out and do it. And we did. We had several people on our street. We drove around. Was at least 15 different garage and yard sales that we stopped at. So, and there was many more. And obviously, they're all taking cash. Well, how does that play out? How does that play out in North America? I don't know what the amount of money that transfers hands in those, your yard sale, garage sale, flea market, farmer's market. I don't know how much cash, transfers between people, but I'm sure it's a large amount. And I'm sure governments, I've always thought, they're always going to find a way to get people. So how, in a cashless society, the only thing you could do with those things, you could bring over a carload of stuff to trade with people. I mean, that's how it would, the only way you'd really do it. Because you don't have the physical cash in hand. And then I start thinking, well, government's going to figure out a way to do this. Eventually, everyone will have, I call it the quote-unquote smartphones, and you will have an app on there. The government will give that to you and say, here's your app, whatever job you do, you get paid in digital currency now. And eventually, it will be still Canadian currency, digital currency, though. It'll still be the nation state you live in, but I do foresee into the 2030s that'll just fade out, and they'll just say, hey, it's easier just to have one world currency. It's all digital, so it's all the same. I'm sure that the smarty pants around the world, the people in the boardroom, like the movie Dr. Strangelove, they'll figure this out. They'll figure it out how to go forward and use the digital currency. But I wonder how that's going to play out in your local economy. Will governments, like I say, they'll issue everyone a smartphone, whether you want it, I guess, or not. They'll say you have to have this phone. You have to have this app on your phone. You want to get paid. This is how it's all going to be dealt with now. So what do? You go to a garage sale now and say, okay, I want that bike for 5 digital credits. I guess that's maybe how it's going to be done. I don't know. I know this is a very strange piece of the puzzle for the central bank digital currency to talk about, but it's something I've been thinking about since last summer, since the summer of 2022, and I'm just thinking, how does this play out in your local economy when things like that, like your garage sales, your yard sales, flea market, farmers market, typically are done exchanging, physical currency, usually, the paper dollars and whatnot. Well, now plastic dollars here in Canada, but I'm not sure. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I do find that the central bank digital currency, it's going to, what's it going to generate? An even more like an underground economy, people just having a garage sales, but exchanging, bartering what they have. You've got pots and pans, I'll give you my luggage. Like, I don't know, however they're going to do it. I'm just not sure how this is going to play out in your local economy for things like that. So yeah, again, like, I had made videos on the central bank digital currency, but I'm not in favor for it. I'm not in favor for it because whose business is it of anyone? Like, if I take, I earn $1,000, I take $1,000 out of the bank. if you go and you want to spend that on whatever you want, like you go to a garage sale and whatnot, and this is where government has a hard time because obviously at a garage sale, yard sale, you're not charging tax. It's not like you're saying, oh, okay, that item's $10 plus 15% sales tax and blah blah blah. People don't do that. So, and I'm just wondering, how desperate government is to get us to move towards this digital currency. I know that banks here are starting to have like pilot programs, more of polls and surveys, but it is going to. I don't know how to stop it. I really don't know how to stop it other than saying, try to just continue to have physical gold and silver. Use the currency that you have, the paper currency that you have in the whatever country that you're living in. But how is this going to play out? So I know it's a small part of the puzzle, but I just want people to start thinking about this. And because garage sales, yard sales, your flea markets and farmers markets, they're community oriented. It's just, to me, I love them. I love going to farmers markets, flea markets, more so than garage sales and yard sales, but those are still, you get out to meet people in your neighborhood. You get to talk to your neighbors a bit more. And I don't think those things are going to work with a digital currency. Nobody's going to have a garage sale and say, yeah, okay, I guess everybody's going to whip out their smartphone to pay me digital currency. It seems kind of odd to me. Again, and that's all tracked too. And if you're fine and comfortable with whatever nation state you live with in tracking everything that you purchase down to the garage sales, then more power to you. I'm not in favor of that. Again, I think more of a voluntary currency, or at the very least, let's not move past where we're at. At least we have a physical cash in hand society, and I think that is very important. Rather than having digital currency, I'm not in favor of it. I'm not in favor of it. I cannot support a digital currency for the simple fact that everything that you're going to do is tracked. And what if you're buying something that your government says isn't, you've had your quota of meat for this month, or you can't spend any more of your digital credits on that. Or what if you're saying something that your politicians don't like, and they say to you, if you don't stop, the 2,500 credits you have in your bank, we're going to take 500 of them gone, or 2,000. So now you're under pressure financially to be silenced. So your freedom of expression, freedom of speech can be curtailed. Again, if they start tracking people, say we don't, whatever the flavor of the day or the politics are, we don't want you doing a particular thing. So we can curtail your spending habits by controlling your digital currency, okay? So these are things to look out for. I know it's a small thing to talk about the garage sales, but again, I'm sure it's, government probably thinks too, hey, this is probably, over the course of, we probably have about 5 to 6 months of the year in Canada, United States, where you can have these kind of outdoor sales. Again, I think there's some people that are quite nefarious in the fact that they don't want people getting out and talking to each other. They don't want you to get out and, hey, meet your neighbor down the road. Hey, this is what he's got for sale. And I don't know. That's just my take on it again. Just another facet of the central bank digital currency and the ills of it. I cannot come out with any pros to it. So, hey, I hope you've enjoyed my rant and take on the CBDCs here again today. And, hope everybody's doing well and stay free.